But these little peppers want to come in, but there are just so many of the big ones. We've got to harvest these just to make room. Guten Yardening, everybody. We are back at Compost Row, and look at all of these peppers. They are beautiful, and so many more small peppers ready to come in. So we've got to harvest these big peppers just to make room. But I have to say, here in Compost Row, life is grand. As we start our harvest here, we want to talk you through a few of the reasons why we think it's such a good idea to grow in your compost. The first thing I'd like you to know is that the vegetables we've been growing in here have been absolutely constant producers, and not just producers of so-so vegetables, but constant high quality producers. So every vegetable we're getting out of here is healthy, and I think in part that's due to the quality of the compost down below. We've also noticed that these vegetables have a tendency to be, so far, more insect and disease resistant. And that means that we're getting to extend the life of some of these plants, so we're getting more produce for longer. In addition to the ease with which these vegetables are able to access the nutrients they need, we're also doing something else that we talk a lot about on this channel. And that is, and I'll pull this one over, waste not, want not. So as we harvest our vegetables and we have scraps left over, the ones that don't make it into our vermiculture setup go directly in here. And the plants that don't have any disease on them when their time is up, they also come in here. And so the plants that feed us for a while then go back into the compost and feed the next plants that are going to feed us once again. Check out these awesome chickpeas. And you can see that the plant itself is starting to die back. And when you want to harvest them fully mature and have them dry out, this is where you start. You start when the plant dies the whole way back, then you pick them. But you can also eat them and pick them when they're green. And they're considered a bit of a delicacy. I'm gonna pull it right over here. And I'm gonna open this one up and show you. It's kind of cool. I told someone earlier today, I think it kind of looks like a brain. You can see the ridges in here, but the taste is amazing. Let's try that. It tastes, well, it's a chickpea. It tastes like a cross between a green bean and a snap pea. Really, really delicious. Now, I'm gonna take a moment and give a shout out to Dan Permaculture Food Forest. He's got a great channel. He's down in Central Florida, and there's a reason why I'm giving him a shout out right now. So he plants some really great fruits that we love, mangoes among them, pineapple he grows, and some of them just don't fit our Zone 5, including this one. Dan, I think you probably know what this one is, this plant that just volunteered to come out. Now this one, unlike where he is not going to survive the winter, but how cool is this? Something you don't necessarily expect to come out of your compost. I would say that this has something to do with what we eat, a fruit that we can't actually grow ourselves that we buy. For those of you that don't know, this is papaya. I really, really wish this is something that could survive here. If you've never checked out Dan Permaculture Food Forest, you definitely should. He's a great guy and he knows his stuff. Now we're actually out here in the mid-afternoon on a day that has been swelteringly hot and humid. So you might notice some of the plants look a little wilted. This butternut squash looks pretty wilted right now if you follow the leaves down. But that's the normal midday heat wilt. It'll pop right back up. And we've got some really nice butternut squash coming in. The last time we were over here, I asked for some brothers and sisters to the one squash we had. Oh, there we go. And I would say this is big brother right here. It's going great. Our tomatoes are absolutely phenomenal. These are volunteer tomatoes. Look at how thick the main stems are on these. I mean, just absolutely massive. And there are 2 different varieties that volunteered to come up in here. We have the red ones, and you can see a lot of the red ones here. This one's just not ripe yet. And then we have all the way in the back, let's see if we can get back here. We have, there we go, an orange variety as well. But there are hundreds and hundreds of tomatoes on this plant. Hundreds. And in comparison to our other tomatoes, this one is by far outperforming. And I will tell you, the taste of these tomatoes is phenomenal. So if you had any fear about growing food in compost and whether or not that would mess with the taste, the answer is no. They are sweet. They are absolutely delicious. We're gonna go ahead and harvest some of these right now. We've noticed that a few of these have been on there a little too long and they're starting to split a little bit. We don't want that to happen. So we're gonna actually, I'm gonna drop this one down there, and next year maybe it'll volunteer to come back up. Who knows what it'll look like then. But we're gonna go ahead and harvest as many of these that are ripe as possible. Some of them we're gonna eat fresh, and some of them are gonna go directly into freezer bags, into the freezer. You know, I think, and again, this is just a personal opinion, so you can take it or leave it, but I would say based on performance alone, if I had a really tiny, I don't know, a 3x6 area where I wanted to grow some fruits and vegetables, I might consider putting in 2 of these compost containers. While you're filling one with compost and scraps, you start growing in the other, and vice versa. So basically you could rotate your crops in after a year or so, and you would be able to really collect a bounty. The other thing that's super cool about how we've been growing in the compost with, allowing some of these plants to just volunteer and some of them we plant ourselves, is we have that element of surprise. Now maybe you don't like the element of surprise when it comes to the things that you're going to be growing or harvesting, but not knowing what the tomatoes are going to be when they come up, we just see them start out and we think, oh, it could be this, could be that. And you come and you see 2 different varieties, 2 different delicious varieties. Well, that's kind of exciting. All right, enjoy the rest of this tomato harvest. Look at that beautiful orange. It's a stunning color. I'm gonna go back to something I said in our Urban Dream video, our 250 subscriber celebration video, that even if you have some belief that you don't like tomatoes, that you don't love tomatoes, you probably just haven't tried homegrown tomatoes, because I'm telling you, the flavor on these is magical. They really are garden candy. I mean, they're just no other way that I can think to describe them besides that. I mean, my children absolutely love eating these tomatoes. A couple of them split. That's all right. Can't have everything in life, but we can have all these. I'm not sure how well you can see me now, but there's a whole bunch more back here that I couldn't reach from the other side. So we gotta go back here into the jungle. And boy, there's a nice pollinator flying by. This is a jungle, definitely back here. But it's a jungle I don't mind being in, because I am getting some really wonderful fruit. Now there are hundreds of green tomatoes still on here that have yet to ripen. Oh, and a pro tip, if you cut down an ash tree or a tree in general, don't throw away the branches. You can use them as trellises, which we've done quite a few of here, you may have noticed. And so you don't need to buy any trellises if you have natural trellises. Again, waste not, want not. As I said before, it is a hot day out here and we're sweating a little bit, but this is a labor of love and the payoff is exquisite. This food, these tomatoes, peppers, and these eggplant are going to be phenomenal. And we have a nice little chickpea snack in addition. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give us a like, leave us a comment, and let us know if you've ever tried growing in your compost, or if now that you've seen some of the benefits of growing in the compost, you might do it yourself. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our video. If you haven't already, subscribe and ring the bell and share with your friends and family. Our goal of inspiring as many people as possible begins with you. Again, have a wonderful rest of your day, and always remember, when you are with us, you're good to grow.